You're not taping again, are you? Hello everyone, this is my salute to the Broadway theater and regional theaters and small theaters in your neighborhood. I have a funny story to tell. Can I tell it? One time I went to see The Full Monty, the musical, and I went and bought my ticket. And then this lady comes in. She goes up to the box office. I'm standing there. Water? And she says, "My husband is very depressed. He had to lay off everyone in his office. I'm trying to cheer him up. Is this a funny show?" And they say, "Hilarious." I'm thinking, oh no. This show is about people who've been laid off from the steel mill. He's gonna beat her, or he's going to divorce her. You should go down the street to the Phantom of the Opera. It's hilarious. I decided, well, I don't want this theater to lose 2 ticket sales, so I didn't say anything. Please contact either Chris Smith or Willie Talk on Facebook and let us know that you're still married. Willie Talk doesn't really care. You know, one time they were doing the show and the last shot is everybody ripping off the last of their little G-strings, and the audience at the same time is blinded by light so that you really can't see anything. I just focused on Patrick Wilson so that when the bright light came and blinded me, I could see Dingle Danglage. I'm a fan of his body of work. One time the computer messed up. They went to the curtain lights, the brightest lights in the theater, and there they stood doing the Full Monty in full lights. How would you have liked to have been at that performance? I know Willie Talk would have. You know, one time I went to see B. Arthur on Broadway. Cue the picture. She did the whole show barefoot. I heard a rumor that she had terrible bunions, and she didn't like to wear any kind of shoes. I think that's why all of her shoes were flat on the Golden Girls. But she was completely barefoot in B. Arthur on Broadway. You know, it was the same year I saw Elaine Stritch at Liberty, and Elaine Stritch told more dirt than B. Arthur did. B. Arthur kept it a little too safe. She didn't even say, "I hate Betty White because she loves animals more than she loves people." Oh, please don't edit that so that I say, "I hate Betty White. I hate Betty White. I hate Betty White." Betty White will see this and then she'll think that I don't like her, and then she'll say, "Everyone in the world loves me except that one guy." Everybody loves me except for one woman, Rhonda Wilkes Booth. Rhonda does not like my show. This is not my friend Rhonda Muncie. Hi Rhonda Muncie. She loves the show. She's a true friend. But Rhonda Wilkes Booth does not like my show, and I think she was the person that gave us a dislike on episode 1. And please, everyone, why don't you comment on YouTube? We have a puppet. I'm not begging for ratings here. I mean, granted, I call people up and say, watch my show so that I can watch the little ratings go up one at a time, but I'm not obsessed. So anyway, let me tell you a story about Grace Zabriskie, the great actress who you all remember as Laura Palmer's mother in Twin Peaks. She also played Susan's mother, George's girlfriend, on Seinfeld. Well, my friend Abigail and Scott and I went to see some play in Hollywood. I think it was at Theater on Cahuenga. We're sitting there before the show. This frizzy-haired woman was in front of us, and Scott is chewing his gum. Well, this woman turns around and says, "Excuse me, but you're not going to chew your gum through the entire play, are you? Because it's really loud and it will just drive me crazy." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm not." She was like, "Good." And she turned around, and it was none other than Grace Zabriskie, star of Santa Barbara from 1985. Well, Grace got up to poop or something. Delicious. And this woman who looked like Rhea Perlman, but couldn't have been because she didn't have Danny DeVito with her, turned around and said, "I'm so sorry, she's a little crazy." So Scott didn't chew his gum during the play, and I thought that Grace Zabriskie needs to be brought down a peg or two. So after the show, I could have said, "I loved you on Seinfeld," but I said, "I loved you on Santa Barbara." And she was like, "Santa Barbara? That was a long time ago." And I was like, "Yes, it was." Okay.
Ready?
Should I close the door so that we don't get crickets?
We're gonna get crickets no matter what. Have you seen the ratings of this show?
Okay.
Where am I?